gave a whoop when Will made a show of peeling off his shirt before he stepped into the lake. He wasn't used to walking around naked, especially outdoors, so he ducked under a lot more quickly than he should have. The water was cold, even for midsummer. Chills prickled his skin. He could feel mud unpleasantly sucking around his feet. Then Sara wrapped her body around his, and Will had no complaints. He said, "Hey." "Hey." She stroked back his hair. "Have you ever been in a lake before?" "Not by choice," he admitted. "Are you sure the water's safe?" She thought about it. "Copperheads are usually more active at dusk. We're probably too far north for cottonmouths." Will hadn't considered snakes. He had grown up in downtown Atlanta, surrounded by dirty concrete and used syringes. Sara had grown up in a college town in rural South Georgia, surrounded by nature. And snakes, apparently. "I have a confession," she said. "I told Mercy we lied to her." "I figured," Will said. The incident between Mercy and her family tonight had been intense. "Is she going to be okay?" "Probably. John seems like a good kid." Sara shook her head over the futility of it all. "It's hard being a teenager." Will tried to lighten things up. "There's something to be said for growing up in an orphanage." She pressed her finger to his lips, which he guessed was her way of saying, "Not funny." "Look up." Will looked up. Then he let his head drop back as a sense of awe washed over him. He had never seen actual stars in the sky. Not stars like these, at least. Bright, individual pinpricks in the velvety black expanse of night. Not flattened out by light pollution, not dulled by smog or haze. He took in a deep breath, felt his heartbeat start to slow. The only sound was literal crickets. The only man-made light was a distant twinkle coming from the wraparound porch on the main house. He kind of loved it here. They'd hiked 5 miles through rocky terrain to get to the McAlpine family lodge. The place had been around so long that Will had heard about it when he was a kid. He had dreamed about going one day. Canoeing, paddleboarding, mountain bike riding, hiking, eating s'mores by a campfire. That he had made the trip with Sara, that he was a happily married man on his honeymoon, was a fact that brought him more wonder than every star in the sky. Sara said, "Places like this, you scratch a little bit under the surface, and all sorts of bad things come out." Will knew that she was still thinking about Mercy, the brutal argument with her son, the cold response from her parents, her pitiful brother, her total dick of an ex-husband, her eccentric aunt. Then there were the other guests with their problems, which had been amplified by the liberal amount of alcohol poured at the communal dinner. Which reminded Will again that when he dreamed about this place as a kid, he hadn't anticipated that other people would be here. Especially one asshole in particular. "I know what you're going to say," Sara told him. "This is why we lied." That wasn't exactly what he was going to say, but it was close. Will was a special agent with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Sara had trained as a pediatrician and was currently serving as a medical examiner with the GBI. Both occupations tended to elicit long conversations from strangers, not all of them good, and some of them very bad. Concealing their jobs had felt like a better way to enjoy their honeymoon. Then again, saying you were one thing didn't stop you from being the other. They were both the kind of people who worried about other people, particularly Mercy. She seemed to have the entire world against her right now. Will knew how much strength it took to keep your head up, to keep moving.